Last week, Tichina Arnold raised eyebrows after asking an honest question on her Twitter account. What can we as Black women in America do to stop aiding in the emasculation of Black men in America? The question received a ton of engagement as many were quick to chime in. Comedian Earthquake reposted Arnold's question, which prompted comments from DC Young Fly, our very own Pierre, and so many others. The responses that came from the question touch on a variety of issues from different perspectives and offer a new outlook on what it looks like to protect Black men and women. Today on our show, we have our comedy hype analysts, Vanessa Fraction, Capone, and Pierre calling in to give their reactions. Now, Pierre, I know I saw you comment on this already, so I want to start with you. What was your reaction when you first saw this tweet go viral?
I was surprised that she said something. Not like, she wouldn't say nothing. I just don't really hear her vocalize herself like that. And I know her, and I know she feels strongly about, the Black community. But again, I was surprised it came from her. Seems like that's a topic for a lot of Black people about the emasculation of men. But I feel also in that, women have to let strong men, step in and take care of that situation, help the young brothers. And I said the word strong man. Women are going to say, yeah, that's right, strong. But you got to get to the point that you got to be dealing with a strong man. If not, then women got to stop pushing men away who are trying to help them, in that situation. So that's my approach.
Vanessa, I want to come to you. When you first saw this tweet go viral, what was your thoughts and reactions to it?
We just came out of Women's History Month. I thought we were, like we're pretty busy. I didn't know that we had to aid and abet in making men feel more masculine. I pretty much promote the balance of whatever, there's masculine parts and feminine parts of us all. It's a very loaded question, I guess. I have a son, So I try to promote, with his masculinity. He lived with his father half the time. He lived with me half the time. I don't know. I was just wondering what was going on that morning to stimulate that question.
Capone, I want to come to you and get your reaction. What was your reaction when you first saw this tweet go viral?
I really didn't have a reaction. What I had was basically a thought of a woman can't do anything for a man to make him feel more masculine. I mean, it's in a man. And these people, and I don't want to say it to disrespect anybody, but people choose who they want to be.
Who they want to be.
If a man wants to be a transgender, I don't think a woman can change his mind from that. If he want to be gay, I don't think a woman can change his mind from that, and vice versa.
If he wants to wear a dress,
right,
that's
exactly
his option, whether in theater or otherwise. I'm sorry, Capone.
Right, no, it's okay, and I just feel that the question is definitely not necessary now in this time when we are forced to accept it. It's there. It's on TV. It's in the movies, and it's in the streets. And now it's coming down to the kids. So it is what it is.
Well,
I don't.
Let me ask you something. Is it not that she's feeling like, what can a woman do that's not going to aid a man for being emasculine? Like, for instance, not let a boy play with girls' toy, Barbie dolls, and all that kind of all the time, or boys put on girls' skirts or something like that, for fun, or walk around the house with high heels as a 5-year-old, 6-year-old. What could a woman do to say, hold on, let me not let this happen because I'm aiding him being emasculine. How can I maybe not do that? Maybe that's what she's asking. That's my question.
And I don't know because I'm not that, but right. People are saying that gay people are born gay. I don't know how true that is, or, whatever it is. I don't think that playing with a Barbie doll is going to make a man actually turn gay, but I agree with you, Pierre, was saying these things can, parents should prevent boys playing from girls' toys.
I had a boy and a girl, and they can play with whatever toys they want to. Now, for my, like there were dolls around. My son didn't pick them up. He had his own kind of doll or whatever. I know as a child, I played with Tonka trucks.
Sometimes we're not letting boys be boys, men. Open doors for girls. Right. Be more protective of women. That
And
thing
Pierre,
I think
I
she's
wanna-
talking about, not being a homosexual, but
Right.
maybe boys not
It's
being
a
a
loaded,
man about it.
it's a
growing
loaded
as a man.
question.
Right. So, and I want to come in right there and intersect right there, because I think, Pierre, you bring up a great point, and that's where I wanted to kind of bring up, because I think while there are so many layers to it, right? Of course, if a man chooses to wear a dress, if he wants to go there, for me, when I saw it and how can a woman aid in it, to me, my first thought was kind of what Pierre saying, like allowing a man to be a man. You know, you have situations where women feel like, you know, if a man does this, or a man does, he's being toxic, or toxic masculinity, and like all these things. So because there are so many layers, I do feel like it was a question that, you know, should be asked, because I do feel like men are emasculated, whether it's from the media or from what we see. And I think she was just asking, as Black women, how can we aid in that? How can we assist in that process? Not necessarily take it over or take the responsibility from Black men, but just as Black women, how can we step in to say, you know what? Kind of like how Vanessa said, I'm raising a Black son, so I know with my son, this is my way to aid in the process, to make sure that my son understands life and what to expect as a Black man, and what goes from and what it means to be a Black man.
You're not raising him as a man.
Right.
Black man.
So I do want to read some of the tweets.
I'm raising him as a citizen and human being of this earth. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
You better teach him how to be Black. You better teach him Black.
Well, I don't have to teach him how to be Black. He is
okay,
Black.
Well, teach him how to see how Black happens, because Black happens differently.
The Black experience.
Me.
Okay, yes. Pierre, thank you. He's 24 and doing very
well.
Well,
we're talking about
sure.
okay, he's a grown man.
Well, you got real in the. You got real.
You ain't got to raise no grown man. You're not gonna raise a grown man no more. We're talking about when he's 15, 16 years old, or 10 years old.
All right. Well, that's been done.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're talking about.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I got you. You're talking about.
I was addressing how you were coming at me.
You're trying to change it to something different that we want to
I'm not changing anything.
You're saying
y'all mentioned my son. I didn't mention my son. Y'all mentioned my son. And I said he's right. And I said I taught him how to be a human being, a great citizen of the earth. Yes, which includes being a Black man, a man. Those experiences.
Well, you excluding that. You ain't excluding that.
I didn't exclude anything. I told you that he is a Black man and he does have Black man experiences. So he learns from everything. So I don't know what it is you're trying to get me to say, but I'm not trying to get you to say nothing. You don't have to say nothing. Seems like it. Seems like it.
No, you're not. I'm not trying to get you that way.
My son plays with dolls and he humps them, so I let him play.
Right. So let him do what he wants to do. My husband opens. This is what we want to talk about. My husband opens the doors for me. He pays the mortgage. I allow him to do all those masculine things as y'all talking about.
Now, I want to step in. I think y'all definitely have a lot of opinions, and I think it's great, too. I love being able to hear from you. I want to add in a couple different perspectives and get your take on that as well, because a lot of people are upset. And as you see, there are so many layers to it that brings in so many emotions. So I want to read some of those comments. One user said, so how can Black women protect Black men from a system that Black men actively participate in and often weaponize against Black women? Am I hearing this right? You had another user who said, we as Black women are not responsible for the image that Black men have created for themselves. I wish people would stop placing this responsibility on us. And then another user gives her response to answer the question. She says, giving them the grace and space to express themselves, respecting their boundaries as we would want our boundaries respected, and stop trying to fix them because we cannot. I'm going to come to you first, Capone, just to get your chime in on there as well. What do you think? Why do you think so many people are upset, by Tichina just saying, hey, how can, we as Black women help aid in Black men not being emasculated?
You know what? It was a very spiritual day for me yesterday. And this topic actually brings on a great part of my spiritualness, where it says that we're so worried about others and so worried about things that are non-existent to ourselves that we forget about ourselves. And what I mean by that is you cannot change a person that does not want to be changed. You cannot worry about things that are not necessarily meant for you to worry about. This whole topic is a great topic for people who are worried about this emasculine, or however you want to say it, or men not being men. The reality of it is, what is a man? What is a woman? If we say the wrong things like, well, maybe women should cook more in the kitchen, then we're being disrespectful. So you have to respect a person's being. And we're so worried about everything else that we're forgetting about ourselves. And that's what's most important. Whatever it is that makes you happy in your own skin, whether you're gay, whether you're emasculate, whether you're feminine, it's up to you to proceed in keeping yourself happy. And so I say that with saying, and I'm gonna end it with this, we need to love ourselves a lot more and stop worrying about other people.
Pierre, I want to bring you in to get your thoughts on that as well. Why do you think so many people are upset, when they saw this tweet?
Again, I'm not you coming from the point of emasculating meaning homosexuality. Okay. I'm not saying that changes somebody who's gay and not being gay. It's like me trying to teach my son to be respectful to women. Well, all people, but especially like for women. Your boy, be respectful for women. Open doors. Don't smack them. Don't pull their hair. Don't be violent to women. Or don't play too rough with a female. That's just the way, if I was growing up, let her cross the street first. Open the door for her. Now, if he don't want to do that, am I saying, well, hey, he born that way. He don't want to do that. No, I'm here to teach that and help that out. And same thing I think she's saying with emasculating like men. How do we do it so that men don't become so feminine acting? Not because they're gay, because they're getting away with it, because they're getting to act like females and so forth, instead of more masculine, whatever is perceived as masculine, as they're not gay to grow up that way. So they are the man that can bring you a grandchild or a family man. Everybody wants their kid. I mean, not everybody. Many people want to grow up and have their kids who aren't gay, who are regular kids, a regular female and a regular boy. They would like them to grow up to be productive citizens. If they got married, fabulous. If they have kids, fabulous. We would like that as parents. Most people want that. And I want my child to go that trajectory, opposed to going wilding out or acting, in a way he shouldn't be acting. Not shouldn't be acting, but that's not really conducive for that situation for me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you prepare him for all the great things that you just said. But if you understand the times have changed and women are kind of different now, where they're disrespected men, where, all right, you hold the door and she walks up and says, look, I can hold my own door. Nobody told you to hold the door for me. I mean, teaching him is one thing, but understanding that times have changed in a certain perspective is also something that needs to be learned.
But more women will say thank you if you open that door. More women say thank you than nigga, don't open that door for me. Trust me.
Right.
More women will say thank you. And I'd rather him work on the 9 women that say thank you opposed to the 1 woman that's disrespectful. Let her have her situation. Boom.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, I want to, because I think all of you bring up great points, I want to bring up what Tichina actually retweeted. So after she tweeted that, we got all these responses, and this was what she had to say. And Vanessa, I'm going to come back to you. So Tichina says, still reading comments. Woo, 2 thoughts. Despite all, I will never be fearful of asking anyone questions. The Black man and woman needs to heal together. We are up against a plethora of odds that are continually stacked against us, but it won't change my love for all of us. It's okay. I expect backlash due to the sensitive subject. I value your concern. Thank you. Vanessa, just coming back to you, what do you think about, Tichina's response after all the backlash that she did receive?
It's a response. I don't really think that much about it. Again, I don't even understand why on whatever morning she decided to post that to do it out. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know that did she get the answers that she really wanted? Is she writing a book? Is this going to help in some way? I don't really understand, again, what the question really was posed for. I know in social media days, we just want some content, but sometimes I think spiritually it might stir up shit that I don't really know. You know what I mean? So her response was just as, vague as her asking the question.
I think her question came from love, and I think she showed that, she has a love for black people, Black men and women. And she wants it to be right as possible, whatever question she can ask to say, hey, this might spark a conversation or a thought and say, you know what, you have a point there. Let me start working on this better. Or let me start, everybody might, everyone's different. Some people might not care about what she says. Some people might say, yeah, you know what, sister, you got a point there. Let me think about that. Let me work on that. And it's great that she's willing to put her neck out there and speak on something. And I think at the end of the day, it's really for Black people. She's really speaking to help Black people, men and women, come together and, be stronger. And that's why she made that comment, I believe.
I look forward to her essay when all this is done.
Capone, I want you to chime in on this. What are your thoughts? After hearing Tichina respond to her backlash, what are your thoughts to it?
Backlash is good because you learn. You learn from different people perspectives. And the question, there's no such thing as a dumb question. She had a reason that she wanted to ask. And that's very, very good of, like Tia said, she wanted to help bring back whatever it was, love or understanding in Black people where we get lost in a lot of different things. And the big thing is that the question brought on a lot of opinion. Opinions are something that's not right or wrong. It's just a person's feeling about something that they heard. And so I think the good thing is that even us, we're talking about it and we have different opinions about things, but we all learn from something. And that's what I think is the basis of what this is all about, learning and moving forward. That's how I feel about it.
Absolutely, and I agree. Even before seeing this tweet, these are conversations that my friends and I have. Kind of what to Pierre was saying, how some women, some men teach their sons to open the door and do these things. I can be very vulnerable to say that as a woman, like I haven't always been receptive to those things, and that's been conversations that me and my friends are having of like, how can I aid and like if a man wants to be a man and be a gentleman specifically and open my door, do nice things for me, allowing him to do so regardless of the single home and seeing my mom grow up as a quote unquote strong Black woman, and things I may have learned growing up. So for me, I do think it was a valid question. I think it's just something, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, then it's not. Just something to take home and have a conversation. So I definitely appreciate it and being able to hear you all's feedback and thoughts on it as well. I always appreciate that as well. So thank y'all for calling in and chiming on this one. You heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts about Tichina Arnold tweet? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson.
In those comments, we reading.
Hey, I'm Tatiana LaJoy. For years, you've come to us to get the latest news in comedy and for your favorite comedians. Now you can come to us for even more news in the world of sports, music, and pop culture. We're bringing you some of our classic shows you love, like Unforgotten, the Comedy Hype News Show, and more one-on-one interviews. We're more than just laughs. We're the culture, the leader in truth. And well, your streamer just got a little more blacker. Welcome to Hype Plus.